Have you ever heard of WhiteRose Mods? Okay, starting with one side of the mod, working to the edge, we see some ventilation holes. The other side of the mod. The other edge, we have some ventilation holes and we have a fire button at the bottom. And at the top we have a 510 connector. That 510 connector is painted on the outside, as you can see. On the inside, the threads are not. We have a center pin that is either brass or copper, and it is spring loaded. A stiff spring load, but it is spring loaded. Taking off the battery cover, we can see the battery cover is held on by 4 magnets. Looking at the inside of the unit, we can see our battery tray. This is a series device, so plus to minus and then plus to minus. It's wired directly across here at the bottom. All the wires are very, very neatly ran inside of here. Okay, tucked away. It's done just very, very nicely. All the solder joints are excellent solder joints. Just real clean. Coming down into here, we have our MOSFET, an electronic switching transistor. That's a real nice feature. It allows this fire button to be a low current device. Okay, applying a bias voltage to this transistor, the transistor then firing very rapidly in the microseconds and actually handling all the high current going up into the 510 and of course the Addy. You can't really see with this camera, but all the connections here all are painted with a coating that insulates them. Very nicely done, not just globbed on. I mean, this is meticulously done. This is just a very, very nicely constructed device. 510 itself, obviously you can see the nut up here. It's definitely not just a press fit. This is, again, everything in this mod is done very, very well. Watching this thing fire on an oscilloscope, you can see in the white circle there, this is an instantaneous rise time. That is in microseconds. As far as our perception, the human's perception, this is just going to be an instantaneous fire. This has about a 0.47 ohm build in it, and I'm using 2 Sony VTC5As. You can see where the batteries immediately came up to 7.8 volts, which is where they run with this load under load at 0.47 ohms under load. And you can also see that the signal is perfectly flat across. That is actually more a statement of the quality of the batteries than anything else. There's no further sag there. They just hold up really well to this particular build. What I'm looking at here with the oscilloscope, again circled, is the fire time, but this is with the oscilloscope across the actual batteries. So you can see the batteries running with no load. As soon as it's fired, it jumps from the 8.4 volts down to the 7.8 volts. And then again, we see it just running flat, again, a statement of the batteries. But what this is saying is that for all intents and purposes, this, at least at this build, the 0.47 ohm build, this particular device has, in essence, 0 voltage lost. It may be in the millivolts. That's possible. I didn't bother measuring it because it is so slight. So basically, this device is delivering every bit of power that those batteries can provide directly to the Addy. All right, back up on top. I changed out the Addy. The test build I put together, quite frankly, was just a little bit hot for me. I put it together in a goon. Didn't really have a whole lot of space to get too much resistance in there. Plus 0.47 ohms I thought was a pretty nice resistance for the test procedures. A little hot for me, to be honest. A little hard to handle. A bit of a tenderfoot that way. At any rate, A little bit heavier build in here. Got the power down just a little bit on this thing. This thing provides one heck of a vape. So this particular mod, the way I got this, interesting story, I guess. I'm not really going to go into it, though, because it's really a long story. This was gifted to me by the gentleman who is WhiteRose Mods, Rob, and another gentleman who goes by N. Chris on e-liquid recipes through a bizarre series of events, starting with a bunch of people wanting a raffle, and Rob actually just putting this in as a freebie, an extra in the raffle. It ended up, as I said, being gifted to me. Now, this particular box, the box itself, okay, it is not all that special. This is a project box that Rob built this device inside of, but that really doesn't explain a whole lot or portray WhiteRose Mods anywhere near completely. WhiteRose Mods, Rob will make pretty much anything you would care to have, from a mech mod to a DNA. This is where I really start to gush, because the essence of this mod is the workmanship. This is a quality piece. Even though he put this thing together inside of a project box, the workmanship is done well, and this is a last forever quality mod. And I think with that, I'm going to pretty much end this. I'm going to put all the links for WhiteRose Mod underneath this video. So if you are in the market for a handmade premium quality mod, obviously you know where to go. I'm just going to post a few pictures of some of the mods that he's put together after this, and we'll see you next time.